Okay, we're going to start with the nation, though there's no story here. New minimum wage hope rises for workers. Sanctioned Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger quit ECOWAS. Federal government's economic reforms yielding results, says minister. And federal government vows to recover unpaid royalties from miners. Okay, which story we're taking in the nation?
So, sanctioned Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger quit ECOWAS. So these three countries have grouped themselves into what they call the Sahel nation. They've decided to bring a crisis to our almost 50-year-old economic community of West African states, which is ECOWAS. They are pulling out of it over what they call a disagreement over the rejection of military rule in West Africa by the ECOWAS. They insist that, you know, the present ECOWAS is being influenced by Western states, and as such, the refusal to project Africa or West African interest clearly. They have decided that they said ECOWAS is under the influence of foreign powers, and they are betraying the founding principles and have become a threat to member states and the population whose happiness they were created to ensure. They said presently struggling with jihadist violence and poverty. The relations between the regimes and ECOWAS have been ruptured. And following their coup that happened for Niger, happened in July last year, Burkina Faso in 2022, and that of Mali in 2020, ECOWAS had to take a stand. But, you know, it's affecting them. The three of them are they are along the Sahara Desert within Africa, and they're pulling out. I'm hoping that this does not completely destroy what we believe in. Yeah. Presently, recent years, I have not felt, you know, the influence of ECOWAS as much as I felt it as a young child back in secondary school. But this is going to even be worse than expected.
Okay, the Minister of Solid Minerals Development, NDLEA, yesterday said that they will take measures to actualize to recover several trillions of naira unpaid royalties and taxes from licensed miners. According to him, he's going to do this in collaboration with consultants and RAMFAC, that's the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission. He revealed that the federal government has put in place measures like engaging consultants to block leakages and recover funds owed by licensed miners worth trillions of naira. From their efforts so far, they're going to be getting international auditors to look through the gamut of transactions and ensure that the money owed to them is paid back. That's a lot of money, trillions of naira that has been owed by these. They're licensed, not the illegal miners. The licensed ones are refusing to pay taxes and payments to government.
All right, so the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has raised the alarm over low demand for locally produced medical syringes. The agency said that the nation's preference for importation was negatively impacting local manufacturing of the medical essentials. And it said they had gone to different factories and recovered or discovered over 1.5 billion unsold units of the product in one local factory. And according to the Director General, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, he said that the situation was disappointing because the quality of the facilities in Nigeria's pharmaceutical companies was at par with those in the United States and European countries. So he is saying that, so they had a conversation, the Association of Nigerian Licensed Custom Agents, to put machinery in motion to curb importation of syringes and also have conversations with them to see how they can, that's with the syringe manufacturers, to see how they can reduce the cost of production. So I think they should also ask why people are preferring the imported syringes. I've had this conversation in the hospital some time back where I insisted on having the very slim syringe because the ones they brought to give me the injection was so fat. And they said one was local and one was imported. So if we find out why people are going for that, we can modify our own local production so that it's more, and nobody wants to allow something very big to damage your skin in the name of injections. We've moved on from that, yeah.
So there's new hope for minimum wage. They say hope is rising for workers who have been clamoring. They say there's a 37-man committee. It's a tripartite committee to negotiate and agree on the new wage. This committee would be inaugurated tomorrow. However, it's detailed. A lot of people are already, the list of people that will be in the this 37-man committee were listed. I'm not going to read through 37 names right now. But what people are saying is there are many states that are struggling to pay 18,000. They didn't even pay the 30,000. 30,000 has been the minimum wage for the past 5 years, and some states are still unable to pay it. That how would those states be able to now make whatever new wage is agreed upon? And the Labour replied to those people saying that we're now sharing 1 trillion naira. So obviously, many states are now getting more from federal allocation, and many states should wear their thinking. The state governors should wear their thinking cap and be able to ensure they pull it through and pay the minimum wage, whatever is agreed upon after this 37-man committee meets. Okay,
The Punch, very quickly. Kidnapping epidemic, tracking devices shortage, hindering police probe, say sources. NDLEA declares beauty queen wanted, Nabs Brazil returnee. Osun Prince detained over US-based prof's murder. 40 trillion naira local government allocations diverted by governor, says Serap. Naira manufacturers plan general price hike. IRS demands Achimugu's tax returns after lavish party. And Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, yet to exit formally, says ECOWAS. Okay, which story?
You can do the major headline. So top sources in the Nigerian police force yesterday had said that there's a shortage of tracking equipment, which is hindering police investigation into kidnapping incidents in the country. And they said that the police has continued to rely on the state-of-the-art tracking device belonging to the Department of State Services, that's the DSS, which results in a long delay in investigations and arrest of abductors. So we know that there's been multiple kidnapping that has happened so far, and, you know, the police we're not able to, you know, get these people out in good time, in record time, because they've been relying on tracking devices from the DSS. And they are also advising, said, if you need, as an individual, a citizen, if you need to get your people out immediately, you can also contact private investigators to help track. And when they track, you can now take the reports to the police to aid their work. But then they went ahead to talk about one of the reasons this isn't happening as it should. And they said that there was a superintendent of police who confided in the correspondent, saying that the key sophisticated tracking equipment actually stopped working in 2021 due to the failure of authorities to pay for subscription. And so the commissioner of police at the time, who was pushing for the payment of subscription, was no longer in charge of the technical units of the force. And so they were not paying for that. And that's why they don't have tracker to, you know, go after this kidnappers and bandits. So this is a very painful story to hear. Though they said they are working on it, they need to work fast on it so that the police should be able to do their work independent of the DSS. It's not that you are waiting on somebody else to give you equipment to handle the work. And then they also talked about the NIN, how they are trying as much as possible to link the NIN to people's numbers, because it just makes it easy for them to be able to carry out this tracking. Yeah.
All right, let's go on a short break. When we come back, we continue with our reviews. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.